Hi, this is 365801 and this is another buddy read with Katie. So for this month we are reading Behind Story by Narae Ahn, I think that's how it is, and this is a NetComics 3-volume story. I'm looking forward to it, it's gonna be good. Now, I haven't read this before, I don't really know anything about it. I heard that it's quite a emotional one, so I'm looking forward to it. And it's only 3 volumes, so we should be able to get it done quite easily. I've got a few things to do today though. Gotta go to get some gardening stuff and some DIY stuff, and I've got some visitors as well, and we might pop into a charity shop as well and see what we can get there. So yeah, I've got a few things to do today, so I might actually end up reading this a little bit later on in the weekend. Okay, so I have some goodies. We went to the charity shop and we got, I'm so excited, we got quite a lot of stuff. The charity shop is like quite a big one, like a charity superstore type thing, where it's got lots of furniture, it's got kitchen goods, it's got clothes and shoes, and it's got like little knickknacks and tchotchkes and, you know, ceramic things that just look cute, like cottagecore. And of course it's got lots of books as well. And when I went in, there was actually some big gaps in the shelves, and I thought, I'm not going to get a lot of stuff here, because obviously the last time I was in, I did pick up one, I think 1 or 2. So almost every time I go, I try to see if there's something there. And I checked to see what there was, and there was some gaps in the shelves, and I just thought, that must mean that they don't have a lot of good stuff. But as you can see, I have this big bag here, and that means I got stuff, and I am so excited. So excited to show what I got. And because it's a charity shop, they were all really cheap. So I'm going to take the bag away and show you what I got, because I'm really excited. Okay, so the first one I'm going to show is this one. It looks brand new. It's called After Love by Tanya Byrne. Not Even Death Will Tear Them Apart. I think it's a YA. It feels like it's YA, but it's beautiful. It's a really lovely purpley pinky colour, and it's about, I think, some 2 young girls or young women who are in a relationship, and one of them dies, and it gets like an invitation to join the Reapers. So I'm guessing maybe she needs to join reap her ex-girlfriend or something. So I don't know much about it, but I do think it's a YA. It was published in 2021, so it's a fairly new one. I don't really know anything about Tanya Byrne, but I love all of this. It just looks lovely. It looks lovely. So yeah, this I think just looks great. And I think this is only £1 because it's a paperback. So pretty excited about that. Some sapphic YA. The next one is one that I picked up and is very exciting. 7 Days in June by Tia Williams. This is really quite popular. I think a lot of people have read it and loved it. And I was just showing it to my mum, and she was like, well, that sounds great. It sounds really interesting. So she was reading more about it and telling me. So this was in like the top reads from last year in the Goodreads Choice Awards. And so yeah, it's a 2021 book, and it's about 2 black male characters and their love story. And we, you know, very often they don't get into the Choice Awards, you know, which is what I really love. But also it's about 7 days they fell in love, 7 years, then they come back and they have to see if they can fall in love again in 7 days, something like that. But my mum was reading it and going, this sounds great, and so she seemed like this was quite a good one. And I've only heard good things about it. I've only heard that it's heartbreaking, but it's also really good and that everyone loves it. So when I saw it, and I think it's for £1.50, the brand new hardback, it looks so brand new. It's amazing. So that goes in my pile as well. Very excited. Now the next one I have to show is this one, The Box in the Woods by Maureen Johnson. Now, if you've watched some of my other, I think it was a vlog, I went to a different charity shop and picked up the first 2 books in this series, and then I had to look to see. So I have Truly Devious in paperback and The Vanishing Stair in hardback, and I don't have The Hand on the Wall, so I'm going to have to look out for that for to be able to read it all, because this is the next book in the series. And also a fairly new one. This is also 2021. I'm just amazed, and it's really lovely. Fantastic. Brand new book. I can't believe that I got this. I haven't read the other ones yet in the series, but I was kind of excited about it. Because I see it on the back of Meg with Books' bookshelf, and it sounds like it's like mystery or murder mystery, that kind of thing. And I'm looking forward to reading a bit more of that in a relaxed kind of way. So I will have this series to read. So if you've read the series, let me know, is that a good one? I will need to try and look out for The Hand on the Wall. But that's another £1.50 to add to my wee collection. The next one is another hardback, Ian Moore, Death and Croissants, and I just love the cover. It does remind me a little bit of a couple of other things that have been released, and I also think this was a fairly new one. I just love all this, and it just sounds great. Death and Croissants, and this is yet another 2021 book, so fairly new, another new book, and it is just lovely. $14.99 it says. Nope. Nice blue cover. And it does sound like a fun one. Richard is a middle-aged Englishman who runs a B&B in the Loire Valley. And then one of their guests ends up dead. So they have to go on a bit of a murder mystery to see. And I just think it's great. It does remind me a little bit of the Thursday Murder Club type feel to it, but also a bit of like Agatha Christie type thing. So yeah, more murder mystery I'm picking up, but once again, £1.50. Fantastic. But the next one, guys, the next one, remember, a hardback for £1.50. This, I am absolutely amazed. Guys, look what I picked up for £1.50. Hardback. I mean, I was always planning on picking up more TJ Klune, and I have to say, I'm really slogging my way through The House in the Cerulean Sea. But I wanted to read this, and when I was talking about this, my mum was interested because it's about, obviously, death and grief and that kind of thing. So this came out last year. I know it came out, but look, sprayed edges, the lovely little, and I didn't know this until after I got home. Look at that, inside, gorgeous. It's got lovely colour. Look at this colour, beautiful. But also, would you Adam and Eve it? It's signed. Get me! This is the new one from Tor, I think. Yeah, Tor. So I was just absolutely amazed that this was there, because I was obviously planning on trying to get it at some point. And of course it is also another 2021. So whoever it is that's buying books in my local area, having a read of them, maybe they're a reviewer as well. Maybe they get sent all these. They just do reviews and stuff. If there is, I'd love to know. But I'm picking up their books. They're taking them to the charity shop, and I'm picking them up. And I'm so happy. So this is the selection that I got. It's absolutely amazing. And when I put it all together, this was £7. So I got £1, £1.50, £1.50, £1.50, £1.50. £7 for these books. 4 hardbacks and a paperback. And they're all ones from last year. I was so excited. When I saw this, you should have seen me. I wasn't filming at the time, but probably just as well, because I probably would have dropped my phone. It was like, yeah! I can't believe it. But I'm really excited about all of them. They all seem like really fantastic reads. So I'm, yeah. So going to the charity shop to get your books is like a good idea. I'm so, so happy about it. So yeah, this is the most exciting thing in this vlog probably, considering I've barely read the book so far. What are we doing for the rest of the day? We're actually about to go out, so go and have lunch with some family. So my family is up at the moment, obviously, and they're like, okay, we're gonna rest for a wee bit, and they haven't really lie down, and I was like, I'll film this just now, and then we're gonna go out and have something to eat, and probably something delicious. I'm not sure exactly where we're gonna go, but I think it might be somewhere on the coast. You'll see it now, I'll put it on the screen. So yeah, hopefully I'll have a good time and do that and see some family, and I'll catch in with you in a bit. So I've pretty much been able to go the whole day now without actually reading anything, so it's kind of bedtime. I thought I would just have an actual look at what I'm going to be reading this weekend. And it doesn't sound like a great sort of situation. We've got Taehi who wants to leave school, but he ends up having sort of an interaction with Johan, but Johan might be targeted because dun 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 he's thought of as gay. So Narae Ahn, this I always like to have a wee look to see. It's obviously not Japanese, it's Korean, from 2015, and I think I am the first person opening this because it doesn't feel like this has ever been opened. Brand new. I think a couple of these, or maybe one of them I got from the shops, or maybe I got some from secondhand, but I'm pretty sure I bought one of them from the shop in person. So I guess we're gonna have a wee read of this tonight. I'll talk to you in the morning. So it is the next day. It's a little bit after morning. I had a nice morning. Breakfast and helped do a bit more gardening stuff, and also I have this like piece of furniture, and one of my visitors was helping me fix it, so now it can be used again, which is good. But we're gonna go out now, so before we go I thought I'd just come up and talk about what I read from Behind Story. First off, there is a couple of things like the use of language is not great. For the first chapter anyway, there's a couple of things. Like there's the R word, which I really don't like. As I said, it was 2015. But still, you know, that's the choices made. At the time, I would say that they don't make that choice, but they do still. But they don't make the R word generally. They use the... Well, I mean, Beyonce even got her knuckles rapped for using that term, and you know, everyone was going on about, well, Lizzo's not Beyonce. Beyonce can do what she likes, and then Lizzo had to change her straight away, and it took Beyonce pretty much the same amount of time to turn around and say, sorry, that's cool, we won't use that word. So that, I mean, Beyonce's great. We all knew it. But people defending Beyonce turns around and totally like blasts them out the water. We're like, no, actually, I agree that this term, if it's offensive, I won't use it. Like, good for you, Beyonce. Good for you, Lizzo. Anyway, it would be great if manga didn't have those terms in it. Anyway, this guy, Tai Hee, and his pal, I can't even remember his name. Anyway, this dude here, like, even just from this first chapter, he's like, they're very close. They're very, and, anyway, there's a guy, he crashes a motorbike, he takes him to the hospital, there's a bit of like, I don't know what's going on, and he takes his phone, and then he comes to his house, he's a bit of a dick to him, he comes to his house. I love his fashion. This fashion is great. Love it. I won't show you the word that they use, but it wasn't a great word. Anyway, so they have a bit of a set too, and then the uncle, he wants to leave school, by the way. I'm being very bad about this, but I've only got like 5 minutes before we're leaving to go somewhere, and I'm not even sure where we're gonna go yet. But this I thought was weird. The three of them waking up in the bed together. Anyway, so yeah, this is the thing. So they're going on about this guy being gay, and so Tai Hee shouldn't, like this, like, oh, it's just disgusting. Just disgusting, and I don't want to read that kind of nonsense. I don't want to read it in something from 2015, published in English, and I certainly don't want to read any kind of bleh, stuff like that. High school bleh. I'm too old for high school bleh, in modern day stuff. So, I mean, that is, what, 7 years ago, and then this was obviously published before that in Korean. So, you know, it's not the newest. Anyway, I do think that this guy, he keeps going on about, you know, how awful this boy is, and I'm like, dude, are you actually maybe gay yourself, and you are having a lot of internalized homophobia? Because I'm thinking that might be the case. Anyway, so he ends up, there's definitely something between him. He's like thinking about him, and like, this isn't dodgy at all. The glasses with the no eyes. Anyway, so yeah, I kept reading. This is cute. He goes and tries to save him, but then he takes the rap for the whole motorbike accident thing. Where did I get to? It was just, I think, the end of, yeah, and so he is dodgy. This guy is dodgy. Dodgy AF. And there's definitely something going on. Yeah, see, look at that. Look at this. They're like all over. Where did I get to? Yeah. You lend him your tie? Oh my god. Doesn't that make you gay? But this is what I liked. This is what I liked. The guy is so homophobic. His friend, who I'm assuming is also gay. It's like, anyway, he's like, did you lend him your ties? There's something wrong with you. The dude is gay, a homo. He likes men. Like, I think he got that. But then his idea is, what is so wrong with being? And I'm like, thank you. And then he says, what does me lending him my tie have anything to do with him being gay? Let's go eat. Like, he just kind of lets it go, and I think good. So this guy went up in my estimation, because I'm like, dude, your friends are douchebags. And then he ends up being there, and he's giving him it back. Where did I get to? I think it was about here-ish. I'm pretty sure I got to the end of a chapter, and now I can't remember where. How far did I get in? Anyway, he ends up wanting to be friends with him, and it's just a cute thing, and he just says, bye. He just says, bye, and that's like a cute thing. Anyway, so there's definitely some nice... Oh, this is what I wanted to show. This is hilarious. Okay, so this is where I'm like, I'm not enjoying this so much, but then I saw this face. Even now, that face is hilarious. Oh, it's the best. And then he does it again, but just not as funny as that one. Oh man, this reminds me of like in Japan when people would get ugly cute things and they would call it cute, and people would be like, no, it's ugly, and they'd be like, no, it's ugly cute. And that's the kind of look I love. So at this point I was like, what kind of personality does this guy have? I can't get a read on his personality. He seemed like a douche with his friends. He seemed like a douche when he's like, I want to drop out of school. He seems kind of like he's lost. He doesn't know what he's doing. But also it's hard to get a read on his personality because he's kind of an idiot. I don't know. And then here it was just like, I don't know, it was hard to get, he was so like this. Like, dude, come on. So this kind of like came out of, I'm like, is it coming out of nowhere? Or is he just be like, is he, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. So yeah, this kind of ugly cute. So some of it was funny. There was another one as well, like his wee face. There it is. It is like, look at that. That was... So some of this is making me laugh. There you go, I got to this point. So yeah, he's wanting to go and be a mechanic. I'm thinking, because the guy has motorbikes and stuff. So yeah, I'm at this point, and I'll see if I can read some more tonight. But like I said, we're going on a wee trip somewhere, or we might be walking somewhere or hiking, or we might go to the beach or something. I'll take some footage if you want. And I don't know how much reading I'm going to get done tonight, but I might read a wee bit more. We'll see. So this is my new desk, and I'm thinking we spent the morning doing this. I don't know if I said already. We spent the morning constructing this new desk for me, and it looks really good. I'm very happy with it. I might need a new chair, so I'm just using this one at the moment, and like a tidy for all of my cables and stuff. But yeah, so my guests have now left. I have a lot of stuff to do because I had them coming on, was it Friday? Saturday? When did they come? They came anyway, and I had to get my house all nice and tidied and stuff for them. So I feel like I haven't done a lot of work and stuff, so I've got a lot of working stuff to do that I need to get organized and check my emails and all that kind of stuff. So I don't know how much more I'm going to get of this done. I read just a little bit more, but not much. So I think I'll read to the end of. I'll check in when I've got more to say about it, is what I'm saying anyway. Okay, so it is now Tuesday. Like, what day is it? So I didn't get much. I had a lot of emails and some stuff, and I ended up getting distracted by, social media and stuff. But I did get some of my work stuff done, and some of my cleaning and stuff done that I needed to get done after my visitors left. My visitors left yesterday. I have to show you, like, no TV. And this is where I usually will sit and watch TV. My TV officially died. So that was one of the chores we had to do yesterday morning, along with putting up the desk. One of them was to take the TV away. The TV has now officially died. So that's gone to the recycle centre. So I'll need to pick up a new TV at some point, but it's not high on my priority list. Getting my books read is. So maybe this will help me read more of my books, because I only actually really use the TV to watch YouTube, which I have on access to anyway, and also Formula One, which I can also watch, I suppose, on other devices. So there you go. I don't necessarily need to have the TV. So that's something I can look at buying in the future. Anyway, it might help me read more of my books. I got this one finished. I did read a little bit more on Sunday, but not much. So this is where I got to, didn't I? Because that's still quite a bit in. And I did finish it last night, and then I had a little quick chat with Katie, but it was already midnight and I was exhausted. I literally had just finished it and thought, oh, I should message Katie. And, oh no, it's quite late at night and I'm too tired. And then she messaged saying, I just finished. And I was like, oh, we were obviously reading at the same time. So, we've got Tai-hee, and we've got Johan. I do like how here they call him yo for Johan. Okay, so far there definitely seems to be a very much growing attraction for Tae-hee. Tae-hee seems to like Johan quite a lot. Johan seems to be developing feelings for him too, but Johan's kind of in a relationship with his teacher, but it seems coercive. And maybe it was okay at the beginning, but if you're in an imbalanced power dynamic relationship, then if one of them wants to leave, like the student, then that makes it harder if the teacher's like, no, I want to be with you. But this seems to be like they're developing feelings. And his friend is not happy about it, so we're thinking, what about his friend? This definitely seems to be an interesting situation at Johan's house. Johan likes photography. I'm trying to give you information about the story without actually telling the story, but there definitely seems to be some coercive, dubious consent for Johan, which is a shame. And also Tai-hee's friend. So we got to this point. Tai-hee's friend seems to, like I said, maybe doth protest too much type thing. Like, so I think he likes him, and he likes him, and he likes him, and he likes him. Like, I think that's it. So it's not the whole love triangle thing, it's like the love square. But it's not quite. Because these two guys in the middle are kind of like, we kind of like each other, I think. Or at least they'd like to be closer. Because even if it was just like a bond of friendship, that seems to be like, no one is allowed to be, you're not allowed to have this relationship. And if someone says you're not allowed to, then you're going to want to even more. I just don't think, I mean, so far it's not as dark as I thought it was going to be. I was very worried that this was going to be anxiety inducing, but I actually I didn't find it anxiety inducing at all. Last night I was quite happy and I just read through it really quickly once I got back into it and I didn't have family visitors bothering me. It was like really quick and easy to go through and I did really enjoy it. And then you got to see how their relationship started, and it didn't start terrible, except I really did think that maybe he could have gone a bit slower on the first time. Like, dude. So yeah, this like, it seemed like they were building a friendship, the teacher and Johan, but then I think the teacher took it too far. Took it too far, mate. You've taken that too far, as we'd say. So yeah, this is the stuff at the back. I love the adverts at the back. So I'm finished this one. I'm gonna have something to eat. It's Tuesday, so I've got some stuff to do, but I feel like I can get more into this because I don't have so many distractions. But I do need to eat something, have some tidying of my kitchen, and then I'll start on volume 2. I know I checked this morning, Katie posted that she'd finished it, and she was like, I don't remember if I actually did read this. I know for a fact I haven't read this. I haven't read any of this, and I'm actually really interested because the second volume, and she should have brought it down, I've got it up the stairs. The second volume has different like hairstyles and stuff, so I'm wondering if there's going to be a time skip or something, because it seems like Johan's just disappeared from school, and I'm wondering, because of these, like, it's like a photograph thing, a possible blackmail, but it might be from the teacher's side of things, and then this was a bit ominous. So yeah, I'm intrigued. I'm really interested to find out, and I don't find it as dark and disturbing yet as possibly I had worried that it was going to be. So yeah, we'll see. Maybe I will be eating my words. Sometimes happens when you're like, this isn't as bad as I thought, and the next volume you're like, damn it. We shall see. But yeah, I'm gonna see if I can read some of that today. Okay, so I was just about to go get something to eat, and the postman delivered something. So I don't remember what it is that this is. I think, there we go. I got Yelchin Beach Club Volume 4. This is just the normal one, not the special edition one. I wasn't really that bothered about it, especially when this was going for £6.99. I have ordered something else from Blackwell's. This is from Blackwell's. They had this big £6.99 sale on. Very, very tempting, but obviously I'm trying to save my pennies and not, otherwise I would have literally just been like, gimme all of it. I was like making a list, and I think there was about 12 or 15, something like that. And I was like, limit yourself to 2. So Yelchin Bitch Club Volume 4 got the vote. I still need to pick up Volume 1 and Volume 3, and then I can actually read it. It's only a 4-volume series, and I thought, going for £6.99, I'm going to pick it up, because mostly the other volumes are quite expensive, so go for the cheapest one you can get. I have ordered one other thing, and hopefully that will come. And it was a pre-order one, so I don't expect it to come straight away or at the same time as this one. So yeah, £6.99. Very happy about this. So I swear I've moved, because at least have Volume 2 in my... I went to go get something to eat. It's now the afternoon. It's kind of like mid to late afternoon. We had a wee rain shower. It was all heavy rain briefly, and then the sun came back, and then it's kind of gone grey again. Anyway, I have started, and I'm this much in, and I have been proven correct. It all went to shit. To the point where he even says, at what point did everything turn to shit? And I was like, okay, so there was definitely some stuff, and in just even these first few pages, you're like, oh, some things that were mentioned, but then not mentioned again afterwards, and why someone would react in certain ways. It makes sense now. Things make sense now. I was just going with the flow in volume 1, and now I'm like, oh great, they're going to explain some things. Oh, this is a hard start to a volume. Yeah, check out the trigger content warnings before you start this series. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. I'm like, I'm not feeling it's like, it's not as bad. It's not as bad. Slap in the face. So yeah, I'm gonna keep reading this though. I'm enjoying it. So we're starting this new section here. There's obviously been a time skip because he's got his longer hair, Tai-hee, and he's looking a bit of a bishy boy. And then you get this other guy who I'm assuming is his friend. And this is the panel that I just think really explains his character. I wish I could remember his name, but I can't remember his name. I just remember him being the homophobe friend. But look at this. His eyes track one way. This is what he sees. All the women in this club or bar or wherever it is, short skirts or showing their legs. But this is where his male gaze lands on this part of their anatomy. Then his eyes track this way, and this is what he sees. All the men with the cigarettes. But he sees the men. He sees the men for men. He sees them. Whereas when it comes to women, he just sees them as physical bodies. He just sees them as the anatomy. That's the conflict. That's the frustration. That's the crux of this character. Is he's obviously feeling some kind of way. Maybe he's bi and doesn't want to admit it. If that's not the case, then I don't know what the mangaka was trying to show me here. Although manhwa, I don't know what you say, because you wouldn't add a cat at the end. Artist, author. But through art, they're trying to tell me something about this character, and I am picking up on what they're putting down. And if that's not the case, then I'm gonna have to read this again and be like, okay, what was this telling me? Because this is obviously a paneled page that tells you something. And that's the kind of art that I absolutely love in graphic novels, manga, manhwa, whatever it is. When art blatantly tells you something through paneling or through lack of paneling or through, close-ups, through, far away, through the gentlest of expression changes, through just that little bead of sweat. I love it. I absolutely love it. This is what I'm here for. And this is why when people say things like, oh, BL's just this or BL's just that, and this is where I want to say, did you actually fucking read it? Because it's telling you so much more, and it is constructed. It is thoughtfully constructed at times. And this is the kind of panel that shows me that the author of this work wants me to see this and wants to show this to me. It's, what's the word? Consciously done. Yeah, this is just something I wanted to show. So I'm gonna keep reading. Look at him with his long hair, looking all bishy and cute. Boom, poor him. So yeah, there's been a time skip. So I've just been sitting here reading this. Just completed it. Had a wee snack of some crisps, and I just read the whole thing. There's a lot. There's so much going on. It's like packed with with people and things and happenings. I really am actually enjoying it. This oh there was okay, so I mentioned, like, I obviously talked about it starts really heavy, and then you've got this kid, this guy. I mean, you really don't like him as a character, but then, oh my god, what happened to him is just so, oh, and you're like, poor baby. Oh my god, poor baby. So there's the moment when he's um hanging with his friend Tai-hee. What's his name? Cho? And there I don't know, like here there's that sort of like who's the different character? Who are they? Is there a difference? Are they the same? There's different things going on. So you're just following these characters. So this particular volume doesn't follow Tai-hee so much. Tai-hee is kind of incidentally in this because it's been a 3-year time skip since the trauma of what happened at the end of book 1, and then there's like the consequence of it 3 years later. His friend Cho, Tai-hee's friend Cho, is it Cho? I'm thinking it's Cho. He said it was Cho. I'm pretty sure he was like, my mate Cho. Yeah. Do-young Cho. So Cho Do-young is he's been through it. Jesus Christ, he's been through it. So he left to go do his military service and had an awful time. And when I say awful time, I'm saying maybe some of his homophobia was well placed in that regard. And so some of his phobia of men and gayness is well placed. This scene on the bench really got to me. I was really sad about it. It was like, oh. And then you mostly get to follow though him and then a bit of Johan. And Johan's story is him living out in the middle of nowhere in his existence, working in an auto shop, which is kind of ironic considering Tai-hee was the one who wanted to work with motorbikes and in that. And then he ends up getting a job. He ends up moving back in with his sister, who's now married to Sam Hyung, who I didn't recognize in the first book when it showed you someone being homophobic towards Johan. I didn't realize that was Sam Hyung. I just thought it was a guy, and it turns out it was actually him. So he ends up moving back in with his sister, who's now married to Sam Hyung and pregnant, and gets a job in this bookshop because of this weird guy who's like the manager. And he ends up liking the job and enjoying it, and he ends up living with this guy, not in any kind of romantic capacity, just as a, hey, I've got extra rooms in my house, do you want to move out? And because he's recognized this negativity within Sam Hyung, and even if, you know, his sister's gonna have a baby, he's like, no thanks, don't want to be around that toxicness. But all through this book, the two main characters, Johan and Tai-hee, never meet. There's like close misses, and there's like, hey, did we just lock eyes? Did we see each other across a crowded street kind of thing? And they were almost met in the bookshop, and this is the moment when they end up pulling up at the same lights with the same make and model of scooter, and they turn and they see who each other is, and then they just laugh, and it's just this moment of pure joy when they pull over and they're like, it's you kind of thing. And whatever connection they were building in the first volume, it starts to like fall away. All the 3 years have fallen away, and they're now just being like, hey, Hey. So I'm guessing volume 3 is going to be like that too. So I'm going to have to, I think, just well, I need a drink anyway. The sun's back out again. Um, but I'm probably gonna have maybe some dinner and something to eat. I might message Katie and say, I've done volume 2. Have something and then go on to volume 3. So I don't know what's gonna happen, but I still don't feel like yes, shit has happened. Like obviously Johan had a terrible time of it, and and Cho Do Young Cho, he obviously had a hard time of it. We know that the teacher ended up going to prison. So he had a hard time of it. And Tai he is just kind of not gone off the rails. I want to know what happened to his uncle. Because that was the whole thing. Like he didn't want to bother his uncle, and I think his uncle did a job. I wasn't sure what job it was. Was he a policeman? I don't know. There seems like there's more to this. I still have some questions, but I'm not sure if they're going to be addressed in volume 3. So, but I'm really interested. This it doesn't have that scary anxiety inducing trauma. It's kind of on the page, but it's kind of not on the page. Like I don't need to see it so it doesn't hurt. It doesn't hurt me so bad. So yeah, we'll see. I'll read volume 3. So I have now finished it. It's about 8:40, it's almost 9, something like that. Anyway, I've got some cake. It's a bit dry, so I put some margarine on it and some peach tea. Okay. So I did enjoy this reading experience. It was interesting, but I have to say, first impression is I'm a little bit disappointing in the ending just because it feels slightly unresolved. And sometimes I don't mind that, and sometimes I do. And I kind of mind it here because it felt like the ending, I don't know, was rushed. It just suddenly ended, and then they had this little like extra at the end where they went for a New Year trip together. So some of the issues that needed to be resolved. Dong Do Young. Anyway, this dude, he really had a lot of issues to work through, and he had to work through them. And I don't think that they were particularly resolved. He had a night where he, triggering content warnings, wanted to unalive himself, and then because Tai He had found out that he was doing drugs. By the way, marijuana on its own won't do what he's doing. He's obviously smoking something a bit harder. But I don't know, it just felt like when he's having this moment and he's talking to Johan at that point, it's, I don't know, is this all just in his mind? But then we don't know what happens to him, and then you find out later on that he's just back at uni and he's just trying to get on with his life. But look, once again, I am asking BL characters to go get therapy. Just always feel like I should have the Bernie Sanders. Once again, I'm asking you, please go get therapy. And he seems to be having a conversation with the guy who worked at the bar, who always seemed to like him for some reason or wanted to be his friend. So, and that's how it ended. Technically, that's how it ended. And I was like, what? Because that doesn't resolve his story. It doesn't resolve this. Is it Jung-in, the girl? It doesn't resolve his story. The chief who works at the bookshop, who can't see his kids for whatever reason. We never find out why. What was the reason? Why did they divorce? We never find this out. We just know that he can't be a part of their family life, even though he has two daughters, 10 and 14, who he wants to see and wants to be part of. And so he lives a kind of lonely existence. He's living a kind of lonely existence. She's living a kind of lonely existence. And we even get in this little afterword the hint of the teacher being there and him seeing him and the forgiveness and the moving on, that kind of thing. We don't know about him. I mean, it feels like is this a happily ever after? When you look at this is a happily ever after. This is like they realized what they were to each other, and I have to say that's probably one of the cutest and sweetest little moments in this story, is when they're having their ice cream and then they're brushing their teeth, and he takes him back to his apartment, and he decides to give what he gave him, which was this hug from when they were younger. He reciprocated the hug finally after so many years. And Tai-hee being Tai-hee, who seems to just be this very like naive, optimistic, I guess innocent. He's like an innocent soul, and that's when he says it's because we like each other. Like, duh, kind of thing. And then that's it. That's the reciprocal of the hug from back then that just kind of stopped time for them. So time moved on and they could admit that they both liked each other. And it was on such an even power dynamic. The two of them were suited. Like, they could finally be and have this nice relationship. It was the sweetest thing. I thought this was just a cute panel. It was a lovely panel. So kind of, yeah, it was happily ever after, but unresolved in many, many different ways. I liked the art style. I liked how many different characters were and how they all had different problems. And it was full of a lot of content and trigger warnings, so make sure you check before you read this if you're worried. There are quite a few things going on, a lot of different issues, and like they all need to go see therapists. They all need to work through their trauma, because that's what it is. There's a lot of trauma in here, and yet I don't feel like it was bleak or hopeless or anxiety inducing. I felt like this was a good, solid read, and Tai-hee kind of has the easiest job of it. I still don't know what happened to his uncle. Still don't know about that. So yeah, Tai-hee has the easiest road through this story. It's as though everyone around him, their lives are kind of going to shit or having a bad time. And Johan is just trying his best. He's kind of more self-aware, or at least he goes through the who am I, that kind of thing a little bit in this volume because of Tai-hee, and he has that support. And I don't know what this story is supposed to be telling me. Like, is it supposed to be telling me that you know, support and friendship is important? I don't know. I do like how this goes like that. Woo. I don't know if they meant to. And I do like the artwork. It seems more like cuter as it goes on. The artwork gets cuter because that's kind of bleak and like, ooh, who's this character? And that's the same character, and yet, you know, I did like it. They seem happy at the end, and that's kind of what I'm after. Do I think that they will live a happy life? Yes, I do. And so that's the main thing. Everyone else, though, I don't know. Everyone else needs to definitely just keep on working hard. Maybe that's what it is. Work hard at having a good life. And when you find someone that you connect with, try and keep that. But just not as much as the teacher did, because that's crazy. That's a bit. So yeah, I don't know what this story is supposed to tell me, so I don't know what to tell you. Yeah. But I enjoyed it, and for something that has so many awful, traumatic, triggery things in it, I didn't find it at all triggering for me. I just enjoyed the story. I enjoyed the art. I enjoyed it for what it was, and I do hope that the two main characters, Johan and Taehi, have a good life together. I'm gonna enjoy my tea and cake. I hope you enjoyed this video. Thanks to Katie for doing the buddy read again. I'm gonna send her a message all about my thoughts on number 3, and hopefully she enjoys it too. It's always good to do a buddy read and get some more of my TBR ticked off. So yeah, thanks for coming along and watching this video with me. I'm 36581, and I make videos about male romance, BL manga, yaoi, all that good stuff. If you read this behind story, let me know what you think in the comments down below. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, consider subscribing, and all of that. Social medias, all that. Take care, everyone. I'll see you in the next video. Bye!